This chapter is about toast tongs. How would you have guessed? So the toast tongs I make come in a variety of shapes and sizes of wood. This happens to be the one that we use in the house. And my wife has forgot it in the toaster. And it's kind of where we store it. And so it's actually burnt. So we have some different sizes, different kinds, square end. They could also be salad tongs. These happen to have forks. This is the size we're working on today. And the reason why I like this one is that, do you see how the grain goes long grain? And this size is short grain. So you wouldn't want to bend one of the short grain sticks like this. This happens to be a big paint stick. And then you would want to bend, this one would bend okay. So this one here has a spoon on it and a variety of shapes. This was bent around a bolt, a big bolt, but just the same. And this is a coffee stir stick. And I picked the dark one for contrast. So once again, just some more sticks. We're going to cover, if you look real close, we're going to cover how you don't want to make one cut and expect them to hold. So you stair step the cuts. So there's a cut here, here, and back. There's a cut here, here, and here. So by interlocking those pieces in different points, it becomes the stability you need. This one we put a magnet on. This one's got some, I don't know, curvy sticks to it. Another one that we created around a bolt. And this one, I'm not quite sure what it is, but I wanted something for my fingers. Okay, so you're going to need the basic supplies we've always used. Clamps and glue and measuring tools and writing instruments, which I don't see, but here we go. You're going to need some paint sticks. These, I always like to tape up the what you're going to bend around, like these group of sticks. That's what we're going to use today. We're going to, or you would have already soaked your sticks overnight. And I want 3 layers. See, there's 3 layers there. So you dry them off on your pants. It just helps the drying process. And you see how this one's got a dark mark on it? What I like to do with that is I like to put that on the outside because that's just a characteristic of the wood. You are going to need your bending strap for this. And what you do is try to find the center. Bend that over there like that. Put your bending strap on there. Steal this from another project. And bend this around. Like that. And clamp. So what that's going to give you is some of these. Now these I also used some rubber bands, but you really have to use quite a few of them to make it tight. Otherwise, you see it kind of gets, see how it's kind of open there? You can use rubber bands if you don't have big man handle clamps like this. You might have to play with it a little bit. They have a tendency to going to do what they want to do. So like this side kind of veered off to the other side, and this one went the other way. So double check that, or you're going to get toast tongs that go like that. So once it is dry, actually, let's move on to the square one here. So you can do square toast tongs as well. Put that on there. Put your bending strap on there. Steal this clamp from here because I didn't come prepared for clamps. I don't have to go away to like that. And force this down. And then remove the clamp from that direction and put it here. Once again, you see how those are at different angles? You want to clean that up a little bit and straighten it out. So that would be the square tongs. I only had, I didn't put a third layer on this one, but that'll be okay. Once it's dry, you want to mark on here several different locations to make the cut. So like if you cut it here, you cut the next one here, and if you cut the third one here, you would have a stair step. So this would be gone, this would be gone, and then this would be gone. And that way you would intertwine the pieces. So like this one here. So you would glue up two of them to get going. It's just, if you do it in small stages, it's a little bit easier. And then you would glue up this one and clamp. And then this one and clamp. And then your final piece, in this particular case, would be one that would bridge this point. So in this case, you would have the break sandwiched in two pieces. And I'm not going to glue it up just because it's difficult to do with the camera in front of me. So once again, okay, that is glued up. So we have the break right there. We have this one gusseting the break, and this one gusseting the break. And that's the same thing here. We have, this one only has 2 layers. So we did the cut. We glued this first layer, or we would glue this first layer. And then come back with this final piece here and here. So the key is to, once you get them bent and secured and dry, cut them at different points to overlap your glue points. There's the burnt one. So you see the burnt one, there's a part, and it overlaps. So kind of a stair-stepping event. This one didn't stair-step. It just has a long paint stick. And then I put the other stick on top of it. This one overlaps instead of cutting. I just kept on overlapping the sticks, and then that's what you end up with right there. This one shows the overlapping. There's a part. There it is. And this seam. And I just did different size sticks just to break it up a little bit. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of different options that you can do and different choices and come up with different results. It's much like, making the tools that we had been making. It's kind of a personal preference. On the previous video, I called these a hot pad or hot plate. They're for putting a hot pan on the counter. I'm sorry, it's a trivet. So trivet, and this was a trivet as well. It would design, if you wanted to make this square, you could just duplicate it over here, or if you wanted to make a round one, just duplicate that here. I just made one trivet to represent two different styles in this case. And next we're going to make handles. I've made quite a mess. Thank you very much.